Hi everyone, welcome to Kay's Favorite Things. Today I am going to can some blueberry jam. Finally! I've got my frozen blueberries that we grew from our garden, and I've got everything organized here, so come along with me and I'll show you how we do it. It's simple and easy. Okay everyone, I'm back and I'm over here at my stove. Here's my sugar. I've got 7 cups of sugar in here. Here's my instructions, so I'll have them right handy. Here's my blueberries. It says you can chop them up. I don't like to do that. I just mash them a little bit with my potato masher. Stir it around. Anyway, I've got my blueberries in there. I've got my lids and rings over there. I've just got them in warm water. You don't have to heat those up or boil them anymore, like they say. But anyway, go by your instructions. I've got all of my gear over here, my canning gear. My ladle, my funnel. This is, to get the jars in and out of the hot canner. This is my butter. I put a tablespoon of butter so it won't foam as much. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Back there I've got some vinegar with that paper towel, and that's what I wipe the rims with. This is to get your lids. This is to measure to see how far you've got from the top. I don't ever use this, to see if it's a ½ inch or an inch from the top of the jar. And there is my Certo. I've got it opened in a cup waiting to use. That's much better to do it that way, because once this starts boiling and you get ready to put that in, then you need to be ready to add that as quickly as possible, and you need to be stirring with one hand. So anyway, I've got everything situated here. I'll back up a little bit, let you see everything. I'm just about to add my sugar, and we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, we're going to add our sugar to our blueberries. I'm going to mix that up. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, especially a hurt hand. I'm also going to add my lemon juice, and I'm going to add my tablespoon of butter. That helps stop the foaming. I'm just going to mix all that up, and what we're going to do, we're going to bring that to a full rolling boil. And after that comes to a full rolling boil, you're going to let it boil for 1 minute. And then you're going to add your pectin. And I'll come back whenever we get to that point. After I get all this sugar melted and get it boiling, I'll come right back. Okay, we've got this to a full rolling boil. As you can see, you can't stir it down. Another thing that you need is a timer whenever you're making jelly and jam. This has to go for 1 minute, so I'm starting it for 1 minute. And after that, we're going to put our Certo in. So we'll come back in just a minute after this is boiled for 1 minute. Okay, we're back. And it's been 1 minute, so I'm going to stop my timer. And now I'm going to add my Certo. It's just a liquid pectin. And stir it as you add it. Stir it good. And that's going to kind of stop it. It's going to quit boiling. This calls for 2 packets of Certo, so I've got to add both packets. Here's the second packet. Kind of squeeze it all out there. Some people don't use pectin at all in there. They just cook it, and I don't do that. I just like this. I think it works really well. And as you can see, that has quit boiling. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to let this come back to a full rolling boil, and then I'm going to boil it for 1 minute, and then it'll be ready to ladle into the jars. So we'll be back in just a minute. It smells like blueberries in here. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, it's boiling. So I'm going to set my timer for 1 minute, and I'm going to start it. So I've got to boil this for 1 minute. And after that, we're going to ladle it into jars. So we'll be back shortly. Okay, we're back, and I've got my jars ready here. I've got my jelly ready. If you have any foam, at this point, you need to skim it off the top. I don't have that much. That's why I like to use that butter. So we're going to ladle this into jars. I've got some vinegar here that I'm dipping my paper towel into, and I'm just going to wipe this off. Make sure it's really clean. That's going to ensure that your jars seal good. Some people just use water. I just like to use vinegar. I just think it cleans better. Get your lid, put that on. Get your ring and put it on. And you definitely need a pot holder for this. And just finger tight. And I always set this over back into my pan, and I just keep going. So one thing that you really need to do is make sure everything is clean and sterile whenever you're doing this. And then you just keep going and you do another one. I'm also going to make some blueberry pie filling. I won't be able to do that today, but I am going to do that because I have so many blueberries this year. I got that one just a little bit too full. So I'll show you what I do with that. Just get your spoon. Put some back in. And set that aside. Now, clean your lid. Pot holder so you don't burn yourself. And just make sure you get the lid on straight. Sometimes they kind of go in there wonky. Unscrew it and redo it. And you just keep going. So I'm going to fill all those up, and I'll come back in a minute after we get this done, and I'll show you how it looks in the canner. Okay, everybody, we're back. I've got my All-American canner here. I'm just using it. I could use my water bath canner, but I had this handy, so I'm going to use it. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 little jars of jelly. So I'm going to go ahead and put these into the canner. You don't want them touching, and you don't want them touching the wall. I also add a little bit of vinegar to my water, just so that nothing stains. I don't get those hard water. I do have some in there, but I do use it every single time I can anything. I put vinegar in with my water. And you want this, I think, 1.5 to 2 inches of water over your jars. So I'm going to have to scooch some over. This canner is really nice. If you're looking for a canner, look at these All-American canners. They are absolutely, positively wonderful. I just absolutely love mine. Can't say enough good about them. I wish I had a bigger one, actually. I like this one, but after I got it, I thought, well, I need to get a big one. Okay, so what we're doing now, we're going to let that come to a good rolling boil, and then I've got to process it. And I have to process mine for 10 minutes. So after we're finished processing, we'll come back and we'll show you how they look. You know, nothing beats homemade jelly and jams, especially as gifts during the holidays. And see how easy this was to make? It was super easy. It turned out really good. I got 9 jars out of that, and it was 8 cups of blueberries. So we've got a lot more blueberries to use up, so I think the next thing will be pie filling. Always go by your directions. Don't go by what somebody tells you. Go by your directions in your Certo or your Sure-Jell box, or go by the Ball Blue Book. And you can look these recipes up online anywhere. They have good information, and always be sanitary whenever you are canning. We always usually try to taste of it. My husband's not here to try it, but I've already tried it, but I've got him a couple of little crackers. We always put some butter on crackers and put a little bit of jelly. Well, that's a lot of jelly on top. And we try, and this turned out really good. So I think it's going to be quite delicious, and I think everybody's going to enjoy it whenever we give it to them as gifts. You can see how pretty that is. It's just beautiful color. It has good flavor. So if you don't grow blueberries, you really ought to. It's really super easy. We've got 20 blueberry bushes, and we got a ton of blueberries this year, so we have really enjoyed these blueberries. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.